Now that we've talked about bringing in source material through summary, quote, and paraphrase, we talked about plagiarism. We want to look at the different ways of citing our material, and we're going to really focus on two different styles. We're going to talk about MLA and APA. The way that I would define which one you should use really depends on the date of your sources. If you can use sources from hundreds of years ago, say we're writing a paper on Shakespeare and we find a source that is from the 1700s who is talking about Shakespeare, that could still be relevant. So we might use that source. In that case, I would use MLA, which is the Modern Language Association. So it's used more for the humanities like English. We might look at art. Any of these types of fields can use sources from a long time back. Whereas if we're writing an essay on, say, technology, specifically something like AI, we're not going to use sources from the 1700s to talk about AI. We're probably not even likely to use sources from the early 2000s for AI. We might only go back a couple years. If you're only going back, say, 7 to 15 years, within a shorter time frame, APA is more appropriate. It's American Psychological Association. So if you're going into technology or nursing or education, those fields really rely on recent sources, so they use APA. So let's go ahead and take a look at three components from both styles. We're going to look at how to format your paper in that style. We're going to look how to cite works in the text. And then we're going to look at the bibliography, which is that ending page. Some call it a works cited page, but we'll see why it's better to call it a bibliography because in APA, we don't label it works cited. So let's begin.